Hello students, welcome to another interesting lesson of this course. I got a question. Have you ever bought or downloaded a theme that had a kind of demo data installer? I believe most of you should know what I'm talking about because there are many themes out there that ship with this option. The user downloads or buys the theme, and to make life easier for the buyer, the creator of the theme provides an option that allows the import of a totally ready site. Generally, this option makes the buyer's theme practically the same as the site he or she saw before buying or downloading the theme. And we will learn how to do this in the next lessons. Cool, isn't it? To do this, we will use a plugin called One Click Demo Import. It's free and it's available in the WordPress plugin repository. A big thank you goes out to the creators of this plugin because besides being free, it's just amazing. With it, you can offer several types of importers at once in a single tool for your theme user. First, it has an importer capable of importing all the WordPress content with the posts, the pages, the images, whatever. It is a very similar importer to the one that we used to import the WordPress unit test, remember? The second one allows us to import all widget data from a WordPress installation, which is impossible to do using only WordPress native tools. The third one imports all the customizer settings, and if you work with the Redux framework, you can also import the Redux settings. In addition, it even allows us to automatically set the home page, the blog page, and also the main installation menu. So the user of your theme will love it. Let's get to work. I will start with some extremely important warnings. The basis of this whole process is the import files, which have the data of the theme to be cloned. It so happens that this process only works correctly when you generate this data from a site that is already online, from a ready-made site, say. That is, it's no use trying to replicate the instructions in your local host. Will it work? Well, the process of creating the files does work in localhost, but you'll certainly have problems importing the data later on. So more details later on, okay? The first thing to be aware of is that you really need to have a copy of your theme running on a site that's not just on your localhost. If you have no idea how to upload a WordPress site to a remote server, you can watch the lessons in the last section of this course. They will teach you how to migrate a WordPress site from localhost to a remote server. Watch them and then come back here, okay? For this lesson, I will assume that you already have a WordPress site running and that your theme is installed on this site, okay? So what we have here is our theme with all the data already filled in. My WordPress site is this one here, which is at this address. And I will show you what's different about it. What did I do here? First of all, I deleted all the test content from WordPress, so I cleaned it up. I deleted the following items: all the test pages, the test posts, the test media, the test comments, everything. Then I created some demo pages just with dummy data. You can create as many pages as you want with the content you want to show to the user, the potential buyer of your theme. The important thing, at least in my case, is that I want to define in advance which one is going to be the home page and which one is going to be the blog page of the user's installation. Without this, my theme will not be so cool. So I created an empty home page and a blog page also empty. My theme will only look great if the WordPress reading setting is like this. The home page displays a static page, which will be that empty home page, which in turn is working with the home page template we created in the course, which is controlled by the template home.php. The post pages will be the blog page, which is also empty and uses the default template, which is the index.php. I also created 3 pages that will serve as a basis for the slider. You remember that we created the slider based on the static pages and the customizer settings. There's also dummy content in here. I also created some fake posts. We have these posts here. Not a big deal. Just a reminder, I can't use images from any random site to fill my posts. I can only use images from sites that work with GPL or CC0 license. For example, sites like Pixabay are excluded. I will leave to you once again a reference from the WordPress.org from permitted sites. For WooCommerce, I continue with those same dummy data that we had already imported at the beginning of the course. We have the same products. The only difference is that I've changed all the pictures. Now I'm using pictures downloaded from the stocksnap.io website. Again, it's not a big deal. I just replace the default images imported from WooCommerce with new images. Then go over to the media gallery and delete the old images. I also changed the name of the products, the SKU, added some categories. Here in the menu manager, I created two menus, one for the top of the page using the main menu position, and the other for the page footer using the other available menu position. These are the items included in the first menu, and these are the items for the second menu. I have a WooCommerce product category menu too, which is not linked to any menu position, okay? Widgets, I filled all widget areas with some options. In the main sidebar, I added these widgets already configured. So you can put as many as you want. In the WooCommerce sidebar, I put these widgets here, all configured too. And in the footer sidebar, I also put a widget on each area. To finish off, I've already filled the customizer with all the necessary settings. For example, I've already set up the copyright, all the slider data, all the information from the homepage's product sections. So I think that's it. If I open the front end, this is the page working. This is the result that I want the user of my theme to have as soon as they import the demo data. If they have an empty WordPress installation, that's what I want them to see. Exactly this. Okay, so we need to generate the raw material for the import plugin. The first thing I want to generate is an XML file with all WordPress content. This includes pages, posts, including WooCommerce product posts, images, etc. For that, I need to go over here to Tools, Export. Here you see a list of everything that goes into the import file. As I mentioned earlier, have a look. It will export all this data, including custom menus and custom posts, which by the way are the WooCommerce products. Pay a lot of attention to two things. First, don't leave trash along with the content you're going to export. For example, you have to delete all that is in trash for the posts, pages, comments, widgets, and also the task orders you made in WooCommerce. Anything that can be considered as trash or content that is not useful, including the content that's in fact inside the trash options. Otherwise, they will be exported to you, okay? Second, and this is extremely important as I mentioned in the beginning of this class, try to export data from a site base that is already online, not on your local host, right? Why that? Because when the time comes and you need to import the data, the opposite process of exporting the data, the images will not be imported if they make reference to files that are in localhost. Can you imagine someone in France trying to import an image that is only on your localhost? It doesn't work, right? Later, you will understand all this in detail. So we have the option to export everything at once or export only partial data. I want to export everything, so I click here. And I'll save all the files here in my computer for now. I will change the file name to demo-content.xml. Let me show you why I can do this process on the localhost. Let's open this file here on Sublime. And let's just look for one of the pictures we are using in this theme. Here, as you can see, the address for this image is a live website. If you do this on a localhost, this address here will be one of a localhost. If your user tries to import this file here, the import process won't find the images because they are hosted on a localhost. Both the user and the importer will never be able to download this file here, this image. Let's go to part number 2. How do we export the widget data? For this, we'll need a plugin called Widget Importer and Exporter. Let's install this plugin. Let's go to Tools, Widget Importer and Exporter, Export Widgets, and I will save the file to the same folder. The file name will be widgets.wie. There you are. I can uninstall this plugin now. Let's step now. Now we need to export the customizer configuration data. Let's install a last plugin called Customizer Export Import. Let's enter the customizer. Here, export, import, and click on export. This plugin saves only the settings of the current theme, right? We save it again with the name customizer.dat. If one day these plugins are not longer available for free in the repository, I'll let you know, right? That's it, now we already have the necessary files to replicate the look of the theme. In the next lesson, we will continue the process. So, until then.